Alright, everybody, welcome back to Wrestling Rants and Reviews. Big Mike coming back at you with another video. And I guess I kind of promised this earlier today when I did my inaugural uh, video or my inaugural show for Tell Me More with Big Mike, that I would tell you more about me from a wrestling standpoint. And what do I mean by that? Is my involvement in the indie wrestling. A lot of people have asked me about it because once in a while I blurt it out because I'm pretty humble about it. I don't usually tell a lot of people because, it is what it is. I'm just humble that way. I'm not one that thinks I'm great. I'm not any better than anybody else. It's something I do, and then sometimes it's people take it that way or differently. So I just sit back and I do it myself. But now I'm going to talk a little about it, I guess, and how I got involved in what I do and what I've done and everything else with indie wrestling. So I guess there's no better place to start than the beginning. I was pretty oblivious to a lot of the independent wrestling that was around in Ontario, Canada, until 2006. I remember 2005 going back. Yeah, 2005. I started to go to a federation called PWX, Pro Wrestling Extreme. And my first show was with King Kong Bundy, which was cool. And I started to frequent the company more. And then in 2006, I found out about another federation called BSE, Blood, Sweat, and Ears, which is ran by Ralph Fuego at the time. And Ralph Fuego was one who was trained with Edge and Christian and whatnot. And I went to this show because it was Lance Storm versus Christian. And I seen one of the wrestlers there, actually a few of the wrestlers there that had wrestled for PWX at the time. And I got talking, and they remember me from seeing me at shows and, whatnot. And I asked how I could get involved and how I could help out. And one of the wrestlers gave me the promoter's number for PWX because it's close to my home. And next thing you know, by the end of 2006, early part of 2007, I was helping them out. And by that, I was part of the ring crew, I guess you can say. Well, not, I guess you can say I was. Um, and I also helped flyer and stuff like that. Um, set up for shows, etc. So I guess you can say I was a ring monkey for the latter part. And then I kept saying to the promoter, his name's Jay, and I said, Jay, you should come to Woodstock. I know I'm not that far from Tillsonburg. You guys ran there once before. You should come back and run Woodstock. He's like, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because at the time they were already doing Tillsonburg and St. Thomas and the odd time Ingersoll. So they were already pretty busy with their things, so he didn't have time to do it. Well, I remember it wasn't much longer after that. He called me and he said, Mike, we're going to run Woodstock. And I said, what do you mean by running Woodstock? Or we're running Woodstock. He's like, well, you want to do it? It's up to you. So the first show or two, I kind of shadowed him. Basically, just the first show, I shadowed him and got the whole idea of what a booker was, what a promoter did, and all the stuff like that. And I remember being sat down in a circle of all these indie wrestling people. Some of them, that have been around the block. People that I looked up to as wrestlers, and having Jay tell them like, look at Mike's the promoter. He's the one who's going to be getting a hold of you for shows, etc., etc. He's the man from here on out, basically. And I was. I started to do everything as far as book the shows. I guess the little storyline that there was involved, I would do that. So hook up the venue, promote, flyer, all that stuff. Try and find advertisements. Try and sell advertisement space to make money. Um, There was a lot involved that I didn't know, and there's a lot of tricks of the trade that you learn that help you with everyday life because you become very business savvy. Because that's what it is. Wrestling is a business, and you get to learn that quick because you're trying to sell the product and all those different avenues. You try and sell shows at the fair, and stuff like that, and try and sell the show to local businesses so you can get sponsors. And then all of a sudden, of course, you're talking with different talent, trying to book them. Who do you book them against? How much do you pay? Because you don't, want to go over your head. Trying to find venues, etc., etc. So me being very, very green, did this at a very young, I guess you could say, young part of the career, um, or young part of wrestling, because I wasn't even in it for months. You can't even say months, and the next thing you know, I was helping run a show, as booker and everything else. So I did that from the beginning of '07 till, I guess you can say, mid '08, or the later part of '08. I ran a few shows. I had shows with Pat Tanaka, Zach Allen, Robert Roode, Petey Williams, um, who else? Al Snow. So I ran those shows, different areas in my hometown. And also before I ran my hometown, Robbie, the Highlander, Robbie from WWE, from the Highlanders, he's actually from my hometown. And he's the one who used to run the independent shows around here before he got hired by the WWE. And basically when he got let go, he took over again and he's running here. So I basically became obscure to, I still worked with the company. I went back to being ring boy basically. I helped with autograph signings. I still helped with getting sponsors. Setting up dinners and things like that. Um, I did everything from also filming to commentary, announcing. And then I just decided one day, I said to the promoter, I said, hey, I want to become a character. I want to wrestle. Or I don't want to wrestle. I want to manage. I said, because I've always been a fan of managers in wrestling. And I think even the WWE has lost that art of managerial, or having managers. He's like, all right, well, come on out. So we'll start going out to training and things like that. And, and you learn how to do certain things, how to call certain spots so you know when and where to be in a certain situation, you know, um, just different things, you learn, you go to school, wrestling school. Um, so I did that and I came up with a gimmick where I showed before. My gimmick is it's sort of like $1 Million Man ripoff slash, I don't know, Oliver Humperdinck, I like to think as well. But my name's Big Money. And, you know, that's an old promo pick. And it works. It's well. I'm a heel. I'm a jackass, and it works. And I've been doing that probably since, when was my first gig? I want to say October '09. I want to say, for some reason. And but they're few and far between because trying to find spots, and you can't just really apply yourself as a manager to other promotions either, like as if you're a wrestler, because no one's looking for a manager. They're looking for a wrestler to fill spots. So it's been recently, within the last year, where I've really been starting to get booked. And like I said, mainstay at CCW, with the Fed that I started out with, PWX, which eventually became CCW. And that's where I get majority of my bookings. And right now, I started out with Mr. Atlantis, and we basically did the Ted DiBiase gimmick last year during the fall run, or the fair run, as we call it, because during the summer we travel all over Ontario, doing the fair circuit basically. And last year we did the Big Money Challenge, which was kind of like the Ted DiBiase gimmick, bounce the basketball 25 times, I'll give you $100. Well, my gimmick was, we would always, get someone out of the crowd, or, plant or whatever, and, do push-ups. And if you can beat my man, Mr. Atlantis, then, you'll get the money, etc. And that was fun because, we got to deal with people right from the town's mayor to, Melissa Coates, even, to Jimmy Snuka, main evented with Jimmy Snuka, stuff like that. But now we formed a tag team. There's Mr. Atlantis and Killer Coulter, and we're known as the Big Money Titans. And I like having fun with that because the tag team is just, I don't know, it's fun. So honestly, I don't have tons of matches under my belt yet. because the summer is the busiest. Let's say you do 10 matches a summer, and from the winter, you may do 3 or 4, depending if you get booked from other feds as well. So over the year, it hasn't even been 2 years yet that I've been doing the manager thing. So there hasn't been that many matches, but it's fun. I love doing what I do. Is it my goal to make it to the WWE? You know what? Yes, I guess. And I say I guess because I'm not doing it to make it big, because it's something that kind of fell to me. I'm just doing it because I like having fun. I get a lot of different things out of it opposed to what other people do. Some people on Thursdays go bowling. Some people play baseball. Some people play soccer. Some people play football. I'm a wrestling manager opposed to that. That's how I see it. Instead of going to the Legion or whatever on Friday nights and playing darts, on the weekend I'm going and I'm acting. I'm being a manager. So, yeah. So it's fun though. It really is. I get to be such a jerk. And to see how much heat I can generate, it's awesome. It's just, when you're in your element, you're in your element. And that's what I don't get. A lot of people say I'm so stale and boring on YouTube. And I may be, because I'm just talking about wrestling. I'm not in a character. I don't have a character. What you see is what you get. I'm Big Mike. When I turn the switch on to be Big Money, then it's different. You turn that switch on. Once you get that first boo, you're that alter ego right away. So I don't know if this really explains what I've done or anything like that, but because I'm still very humble. Even though here I am explaining what I've done or how I've done it in the wrestling business. For the last 4 years, I can honestly say I've had the time of my life. It's been fun as fuck. I've got to meet some awesome people. Idols that I grew up watching. I've got to share the locker room with them. I've got to have dinner with them. That's better than any sort of payday. Getting to sit there with your idols growing up, like Great Hammer Valentine or Bruce Beefcake or Jimmy Snuka or who else? Iron Sheik, Ted DiBiase, Brooklyn Brawler. Who else? There's been all kinds of people. And then you see people around you make it, get their shots. Like Cody Deaner, like, Michael Elgin for Ring of Honor. Share the locker room with these guys and see them evolve. And you're like, this is awesome. They're getting their shot. They're getting their break. It's just so overwhelming. I really don't know what else to say that I haven't said. I just gotta say thank you to Jay McDonald, the promoter, for allowing some little Mark kid. Well, I'm not really a Mark kid. It was only 4 years ago. I was 28 or so, 27, whatever it was. I'm gonna be 33, 29. Well, in 2008, I would have been 30, and I've been involved. So yeah, 28, whatever. I was a 28-year-old guy that loved wrestling and got involved. And I just gotta say thank you to everybody else that I've been honored to share the locker room with, because you pick up and you learn so much, and you gain respect and you earn respect and you learn respect, and that's what it's all about. People don't get it. I really don't know what else to say. If there's anything you want to know, please ask me. If you have any questions about what I do or how else I got involved, or if there's anything that I've missed that you think I may have missed or that you want to know about. Because this is me right now. I'm Big Mike, obviously. Just being humble about it all, trying to explain what I do. I'm definitely not the same weekend warrior as the wrestlers that lay their body on the line, but at the same time, I enjoy the travel, enjoy the speaking with different wrestlers, different friends. You know, um, just getting the nuance and and I don't know if that's even the words that I want, but getting the insight. You know, it's it's just awesome. I don't know what else I can say, but that's what I do. And this Saturday I got a show tomorrow. There's tag match we have the Big Money Titans. Myself, we're going against a young kid that we've had a bit of a beef with for the last little while. We always seem to be fighting him, Adam Jacobs. Last year, he ended up getting Jimmy Snuka in his corner to help him out. And tomorrow, rumor has it, he's got a mystery opponent or a mystery partner. And word on the street that it's another WWE legend. So we'll get to see what things are. We'll see what trouble's in store for them. And, so, anyways, I'm Big Mike. I hope that gives you some more insight on what I do outside of YouTube. Things that I've done in wrestling. And the sky's the limit. Who knows? So when I play guest booker, or when I like to try and book matches, or when I try to be like, this is how I would do it, or this is what I would do, I guess that's where you can see where I got my insight or my know-how, because I've basically done it. I've booked shows. Maybe not as high as caliber as the WWE, but I've done it. But at least now we got some insight on me, a little extra. But still, please send in questions for Tell Me More with Big Mike every Friday about my life. Send me in questions about wrestling, whatever. But please send me in questions. That's all I can ask. And comment more if you can, if you want. If it's like, well, I'm getting all these views, I'm starting to get a little bit more views sometimes. I'm getting more subs, but it's quiet on the homepage. It's quiet. So, don't be afraid to say hi or drop a video response or a comment. More likes would be great. All that good stuff. But please send me more questions for the Tell Me More with Big Mike. And I am Big Mike, and that's that.